we ready for a clap sync?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
Oh god. Let's try
That
that
was
again.
so off.
I'll let you do it. Always so loud.
Oh god. Hi Craig. Welcome to the Low Seltz-Esteem podcast, the podcast where we review all the shitty hard seltzers that you can find in your local grocery store. Today I'm joined with Charles.
Hi.
Hi Charles. And we have a new guest today. It's our first real guest that isn't a friend. Introduce yourself to the lovely audience.
Baba Booey. Yeah, I'm Mike. And did you want me to say anything
Yeah.
more? Or?
You do
Yeah.
your whole spiel right at the
This
front.
is all you. This is all you.
Awesome. Okay. So like I said, I'm Mike, and we got in touch because through podcast exchange stuff. I run a podcast with my wife. It's called Oh Crap: Our Fecal Misfortunes and Foibles, and we interview people for their poop stories. Funny, embarrassing, disgusting, educational, whatever. If it's poop related, we want to hear it.
Big
We
poop
finally
guy
got
over
Poop
here.
Guy. We got Poop Guy on the podcast.
The famous poop man. I'm hype. Today we will be reviewing the Mighty Swell Spike Seltzer from the Tropic Pack. It's the pineapple can with a bunch of cum shots on it.
It really does.
there you
It just
go.
looks.
It's just a bunch of cum shots on it. It's
Yeah,
got a
it
little
looks
diver
sloppy.
on the bottom. It's
It looks
sloppy.
like,
It's
it's very sloppy. I'm okay with the color. It's just I don't know the way that this looks. This looks like it's gonna taste like static.
Ooh.
I'm not expecting. What?
It smells good. It smells
Does
good. It
Does
does
it?
smell good. I'm gonna take a slurp.
I'm scared. I'm scared. All of these Mighty Swells we have had, Mike, have been absolutely dog shit.
Charles.
What?
Yeah.
What? Do
Charles,
you
that's
taste?
it's like a 54.
No way. No way. No way. There's got to be
Drink it.
grape in there.
Drink it for me, Daddy. So yeah,
Pour out
this
of what?
after 100, yeah, we review these seltzers based on a couple parameters. Charles does not like it. He's wincing. He's dying over there.
Oh,
He's
what
doing the
the
T-Rex
fuck?
arms. I like
Man.
it. It's like he's doing the T-Rex arms.
Yeah,
He's
God,
got the
what
tism.
fuck? Dude, this tastes metallic. Again, once
What?
again,
I don't-
this tastes metallic. Once again, this doesn't taste anything like pineapple. I'm tasting the grape. The grape is back.
I taste pineapple.
No, this is
Imagine it tastes like, you go to the beach and you bring like frozen pineapple with you for like a refreshing snack. But then you go in the ocean for too long and you come out of the ocean, got a little salt water on your face, and then you try and eat the frozen pineapple that's thawed out and kind of warm and like grody after like 4 hours of sitting in the sun.
storing your
That's what it tastes
pineapple
like.
in a rusted container.
Well, I mean, man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So-
So that's what we're drinking. What are you drinking?
Well, starting out again, as I told you guys before, haven't had seltzers before, and so this is going to kind of turn into a game of, hey, let's see how many the former Mormon puts into himself until he gets tipsy.
Hell yeah.
'Cause it's
I'll
not-
drink.
yeah, it's
I'll drink to that.
Or drink to
Yeah.
that. So yeah, it's starting off with just pretty basic stuff like just White Claw, Black Cherry. I'm not hating it. I don't really, and it's funny because like I just generally don't like seltzers much. So like I'm not hating it, but like with the parts I'm not liking, I'm like, is it the seltzer? Is it the spike? Is it the black cherry flavor? I don't know.
I-
That's why we'll have to just work through other flavors too today to see.
It's probably the black flary shaver. Fuck. The
Dude,
Black
dude, I'm about to have a stroke, dude. Dude,
Oh
this
my god.
this destroyed me. All right, the black scary cherry is the way that I always kind of see it. I like the cherry flavors, but it always tastes rough. Like if a drink could be coarse, then like it's gritty. It's like gritty.
It is gritty. I'll give you that. And that's a perfect segue because we will be reviewing White Claws next episode for the
Oh,
first
yeah,
time
dude,
on the
I'm so
podcast.
excited.
We finally got the sorority bitches on, and
Yeah,
we'll be
baby.
drinking White Claws. So I'm hyped. I don't know what pack we're gonna get of the White Claws. There's like 4 different variety packs, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure something
Yeah,
out.
You got your choice, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it is kind of a basic bitch choice, but like I'm fine with it. Like I said, you got to start with the basics, and that's where I'm
What-
starting, and I'm fine with that.
I'm a
White
basic
Claw
bitch.
Is what started
So-
all of the seltzer craze, I feel.
I'm what you call an average Joe. Didn't.
Ah, thought it-
Yeah. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. I'll be here all next hour and a half.
oh. All right, so the more
Yeah.
that I
Fine.
drink this, the less that I'm hating it.
There we go.
It
There we
does go down pretty. It goes down pretty smooth. I'll test chuggability.
Oh, okay. I like this. I'm feeling a 54 for this. I think it's one of the better ones of the pack. I don't want to throw out. Oh, he had a boy. A boy.
I don't like it. I'm giving it about like a 40. It's not
That's
at
fair.
all compared to what we had yesterday. What did we have yesterday? The papaya.
I almost threw up.
I thought I was gonna fucking vomit last night.
I was ready to yakaroni.
It was honestly the worst one that we've ever had. Oh.
I enjoy this. I unironically enjoy this.
Papaya is not even like a fruit I enjoy, and it's just by itself, like all that much. It's not like it's like kind of slightly stinky cantaloupe.
Oh yeah, papaya is whack. I don't know why so many brands choose to like market papaya. I think it's like, ooh, it's ethnic, it's tropical, it's fun. Ooh, little white boy, try the papaya.
Maybe that's why I don't like it. Because sorry, I mean talk. I'll just quickly say that like I'm allergic to avocados, mangoes, and bananas, and so like
God,
maybe.
Oh God, no! I'd kill myself if I was allergic to mangoes.
That's gotta suck. Have you ever like kind of just sat there and be like, you know what? I'm gonna do it today. I'm eating a mango.
It's the skin of the mango, correct?
Well, okay, so I'm not deathly allergic to any of those, but it's real goddamn uncomfortably allergic to all of those. And yeah, it's not just the skin. It's like it's the fruit itself, the meat inside, and also the sap. The sap, my skin reacts to it like poison. Like I'll break out. Excuse me. I'll break out into like a poison ivy like rash if I get the sap on me and don't wash it off. I was first made aware of this. Again, mentioned former Mormon here. I did my 2-year mission in Mexico. First week I'm there. This one family is being real friendly and everything. They're like, hey, have one of these mangoes fresh off our tree. And it was the juiciest thing I'd ever had. The juice is just getting everywhere, including my hands. So the next day, I've got this poison ivy like rash. My hands are just covered in it. I'm like, what the hell is this? They take me to a doctor, and he's like, in whatever little English he can tell me, because I've only been there a couple weeks. He goes, no sun, stay out sun. And I'm like, okay. So I got to stay out of the sun. And the training companion that I had at the time was like, well, we can't do that. We got work to do because we gotta spread that good word, don't we? But I'm like, so he's telling me to stay out of the sun. Is it the sun that did this to me? Am I allergic to the Mexican sun? Is the Mexican sun different than the American sun? What is going on here?
Did
like,
you pray for clouds?
Pray for.
That's pretty good.
Dear Lord, if you want me to finish this mission, I would like some clouds, please. Little rain for a brother over here.
Make it overcast. It wasn't until years later that my father-in-law said, "Oh yeah, some people respond this way to the sap," and I thought, "That's got to be what it is." And like even times and then I started connecting dots of like, oh, that's why like times when I'd eat mango, like I'd get like a slight rash around my lips, So it's again, like I said, not deathly allergic. I don't have to carry an EpiPen with me or anything, but yeah, I just avoid it because it doesn't do me good.
It's really common actually. I think once a year I'll find someone new that's allergic to mango because you can develop it at any time, like any allergen.
It could just happen.
It's the same chemical structure as the active ingredient that makes you itchy to poison ivy. So there's a good chance if you're allergic to poison ivy, you're also allergic to mango sap.
You're telling me just one day I could just wake up and all of a sudden mango bad?
No, it's mostly the sap and the exterior. The fruit, unless you have a more like severe allergen to it, should be fine for most people. But obviously everyone's different and how they react to certain chemicals.
Allergies are so weird because like I know it's like I've heard it explained as like, oh, it's your body, it's the immune system trying to fight it off, and it's like, fighting what off? It's just bananas. It's not cyanide, body. Calm the hell down.
I had a friend of mine in high school. She was allergic to grass.
I think my dog is allergic to grass.
Dude, it was so fucking weird because we normally would go eat lunch at these picnic tables in the grass, and she'd just be sitting there standing over like over there on the concrete just watching us. Like, I can't go over there. If I touch that grass, I'm fucked.
I think my dog has this very slight allergen to grass because anytime the grass is freshly cut and she goes outside, she comes back in and just is shaking, just all the time.
I've heard of that. Like when it's freshly cut, it's worse.
Yeah, I think it's something with the grass expels with a cut. I forget.
Yeah,
I'm somewhat of a botanist.
Like pheromone.
I know very subsurface level of plant biology.
So you cut the grass, and that's how you activate the grass. It activates the grass, and that activates the allergies. I've solved
Yeah.
it. I've solved it.
Big science man over here.
Hell yeah. But man, imagine being allergic to grass. It's just like that's most of this world that you can just not walk on.
I mean, it's like those shitty sci-fi movies that like the plot is the aliens end up being allergic to water. Like how many sci-fi movies like that's the like they're allergic to water. We can defeat them.
Is
I
it
mean,
possible
how
to be
many?
allergic to water?
I only know of the one.
There's
signs.
what is it? Rabies. Rabies cause hydrophobia, where you're deathly afraid of water.
You can be allergic to water. Then what do you drink?
Death. Do you have to get like an IV?
People often, I don't know. I'm actually very curious. Some people
Alright.
can do it without touching their skin, without the water touching their skin. Then how do you
I heard-
bathe?
There's a kid in high school. I don't know if this is true or not, because like I know that he, I don't want to punch down on the kid, but like he did smell, and like I remember people would sometimes say like, why does that kid smell? And then someone's like, I heard he's allergic to water, and it's like,
Oh my
what?
God.
Like I've never heard of that. And then someone was like, another friend of mine, like, we're just being dickish high schoolers. He goes, well, what could it do? Make him stink worse? That's awful.
Holy
Oh.
fuck. Dude, we had a kid in elementary school who was like unironically like the kid in the bubble. And he had to wear like the full like hazmat suit to school every single day because he was deathly allergic to so many different things, including the sun. He had to wear like a full sunscreen around himself.
Not just the
Dude,
Mexican sun either, huh?
Not
That
just the
point,
Mexican sun.
The
That was a
Trump
good old-
warned me about. Trump warned me about that, son.
It was a good old patriotic son. God bless an eagle son.
Dude, at that point though, just put the kid down and have another one. Like, dude, that kid's living out of spite. God does not want him to live. What am I allergic to?
ma'am?
You're allergic to water, grass, and pretty much everything else. You got to live in a hazmat suit. I don't want to live like that, man. Just fucking drown me.
That's evolution screaming at you. Hey,
Yeah.
take a hint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take the L on this one. Try again.
That's when you sit the kid down and like, hey, look, you ever heard of natural selection? We're about to
And then
find
just-
it out. Just unzip the hazmat suit and throw him outside.
What culture?
Rock, boy.
What
He's coming
culture
to school
did
every day
that?
dressed like he's coming to like take ET for studying or something.
Dude, he straight up. I mean, he had like the big like hazmat blue gloves. He had like the full suit. He had a little zip up like face mask hood. Like he was in a bubble.
This is like, and I was gonna ask like, why didn't he just do remote learning? But this is pre-COVID, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. This is early 2000s.
How does that kid live? Is he alive now?
I was thinking that in my head. I was like, I wonder what he's doing. I'm like, he's probably dead. Actually,
He's probably like
he's probably
Yeah,
dead.
he's probably either rolling 6 feet in a grave or just literally inside of a bubble, just like in his mom's house.
Yeah, this shit's weird.
It's like Bubble Boy.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's
Oh.
exactly like that. Ugh,
Oh God.
scary.
I remember watching that movie Bubble Boy, and I was so confused because like my parents never let me watch any type of like movies that had any type of reference to adult stuff. So Bubble Boy was on, and my mom was just in the other room, and it just gets to this one scene to where they're just flipping through this book, and there's titties everywhere, and I'm like, I don't know
Hell
what
yeah.
to do. I don't know what to do. Dude, I got scared. I changed the channel.
I haven't seen that movie since I saw it in theaters for some reason. I think I had friends that were like, "Let's go." You know, like when you guys had disposable income and you went to the movie theaters on purpose, and it wasn't just for big event movies. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
but-
just a casual thing. I didn't have to wait like 5 months to see this one very specific niche movie I really want to see.
Yeah. Well, that's one for the record books. I've seen Bubble Boy in the theaters. It was unremarkable.
What movie do you think as a child had the largest impact on you?
That's a good question. I would say Zafura because I got scared. Me and my sister got scared during that movie, and we cried, and my
Dude.
parents made us leave.
Yeah, I saw that in theaters.
Yeah, I saw that in theaters, which
Zathura. It's like if
Oh,
Jumanji
Space-
was in space.
Jumanji. Yeah.
Yeah,
Space
Space
Jumanji.
Jumanji.
Dude,
Who was
as soon
in
as
that?
the aliens showed up, dude, I was done. I thought aliens were real at that point, dude. I was fucking crying like a bitch.
Oh yeah, Josh Hutcherson was in that, and Dax Snyder, Tim Robertson, Kristen Stewart.
Yeah.
Roberts. Wait, not Robinson. Not the I think you should leave
No.
guy, right?
No, Tim Robbins.
Yeah, I think you should
Love
leave,
it.
guys. He was the alien.
Like,
Oh,
did you?
God,
Did
yeah.
you? Yeah, I want to see that sketch where they're like, "Did you cause outer space to be in our living room? I didn't do fucking shit."
I didn't do fucking shit. Did you sign Brett Favre on this football, or was it actually Brett Favre? I remember that
Right.
scene so clearly because, like, we were in the theater and they goes like, "You went back in time. You got a football signed by Brett Favre." My dad goes, "Yeah."
Oh yeah, he's a
Silent
big
movie theater.
Green Bay guy. He's a big cheesehead.
Huge cheesehead.
Huge cheesehead.
So for context, my parents grew up in Illinois, and my grandparents were huge Chicago Bears fans. So my dad, as a kid,
Illness.
my dad's like, I'm gonna piss my dad off. So he just became a Packers fan, and to this day, we've been diehard Packers fans.
That's just out of spite. I love that actually.
I know. And then my grandfather's just got a photo of my dead grandfather staring at me. I'm talking about you. Fuck the Bears,
Oh.
Grandpa.
Grandpa.
I can see you were making eye contact with that photo.
Yeah, you were.
Oh, yeah.
You
Oh,
looked
yeah.
up to it.
Hey, Grandpa, how you doing?
Hey, tell him to
Welcome to
subscribe to the podcast.
Y'all got Wi-Fi up there?
Can you put featuring Charles's dead grandpa on the title?
The title's just going to be "We Have Poop Guy" featuring Deadpaw.
Deadpaw. Aw. Rest in
Aw,
peace.
it hasn't even been
Oh
a
my
year.
fuck.
So as far as like,
shit.
I can't think of a movie that was like the most impactful. But since we're just talking about going to the theater and all that, since it's on my mind, like I would say probably the biggest movie going experience for me at that time in my age group was Lord of the Rings, hands down.
Transformers 2.
Transformers. I think I saw that in a drive-in movie theater. Transformers 2's. Dude, Lord of the Rings slaps.
I
I
would
think
have killed to
I'm
see
a
that.
bit older than you guys. If you guys are talking about Transformers 2 was the formative high school movie of my.
No.
No.
My formative like elementary school movie was episode 2 of Star Wars. Seeing fucking Yoda flipping around as a little child. Hopped up on candy. I got my grandmother pulled me out of school early so I could go see Star Wars episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
Dude, that shit's sick.
I
would
would
have
have
killed to see Lord of the Rings in fucking theater. Oh,
My dad almost pulled me out to see Phantom Menace. He was gonna pull me.
Oh.
His work was doing a thing, and I was in 7th grade. His work was doing a thing, and they're like, "Yeah, bring your family." So he was gonna pull me and both my younger sisters out, but one of them had failing grades, and he's like, "Well, I don't feel good pulling her out, and I don't feel good pulling 2 of you out if I can't pull all of you out. So none of you get to go now." It was like this. It was gonna be opening day and everything.
Oh,
I love
my parents totally would have pulled me out. If like one of us had bad grades, I have one sister, they would have pulled us out, and we'd gone home. My sister would have thrown a fucking fit.
For a week I had to deal with all my friends having already seen it, and I'm just like, shut up, I can't, please don't.
That's the worst too, because it's like you
Yeah.
can't even like Google anything to look it up, and
No.
like you can't watch it in the theaters, you can't pirate it. You just have to sit there and pray that your friends are not going to be assholes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do love that it's the 25th anniversary this year of Phantom Menace, and they're just re-releasing so much like merch and everything from it. It's just so nostalgic. It's so good.
Moving on to number 2 for what it matters.
Ooh.
That's
Who is
a
that?
Vizzy.
Oh,
Vizzy.
Vizzy.
that's a
That's
big fucking
blueberry
can.
pomegranate. That's a
That's
blueberry
a big
pomegranate.
can.
A tall
That's a-
boy here.
He's a big
Followed
boy.
by another tall boy here. So
Ooh. All right.
Okay,
Hell yeah.
those Vizzies are actually good. I have some in my fridge right now.
are they? All right then. Yeah, I feel like you guys are coming in with like crap seltzers of like brands I've never heard of.
Oh,
So-
these were
Oh,
on
it's-
sale at our local ABC liquor store. This is the only reason we bought them. They were $10 for the pack.
Yeah, Joe bought 2 of them, and then he bought the tropic one just because it had fish on there. He's like, fish, so he fucking bought it.
Going
And then
back to
after-
fish.
After
That
we
man
finished,
loves fish.
after we finished the first pack, we're like, this is god awful because the first pack, the main ingredient in all of these flavors is concentrated Concord grape. Why? No fucking clue. Like last week, not last week, but yesterday, the papaya flavor is just like, yeah, papaya. Let's throw some fucking grape in there.
But that's all you
what's gonna
taste.
make it. That's what's gonna make it fucking good.
Oh,
And it only tastes
Okay.
warm.
You lost me for a second. 'Cause I'm like, what's wrong with grape? And I'm like, oh, you didn't buy grape. So then you're
No.
wondering, I bought papaya, asshole. Where's my
Why
papaya?
is it grape?
And it just tastes like shitty Welch's. It's been sitting in like your youth group's church closet for like 12 years.
Yeah, pretty much. It's from like the one luncheon that no one showed up to. Made me move all the fucking chairs outside for nothing.
Speaking of fish, the movie that had the biggest impact on me, my parents were watching Jaws in the living room. And I was like, I had to be less than 5 at the time. And I walk into the living room right at the scene where the shark tries to punch through the shark cage that Matt Hooper's in. And I just remember, because it's like one of the few jump scares in that movie. There's only like 2 or 3 jump scares in that whole film. And I walked in and I was like, oh, ocean, that's fun. And then this shark just comes in and destroys this cage. And I just remember just screaming and running out of the room. And then I decided, you know what? That's going to be my entire job now. I'm going to go to school to be a marine biologist.
That's funny.
I got terrified.
You got scared and you're like, no, I'm going to confront it. Let's go. I'm going to go. I'm going to get the shark.
I'm gonna get the shark.
I'm gonna make a career out of giving my fears a middle finger. I love it.
Yeah, but I like that. That's the only time I think I ever remember being scared of sharks. Then I got like obsessively like that was my tism. I only like I probably have like 50 different shark books I got as a child, and these are like adult level books that like my mom's friends were finding at like thrift stores. They're like, oh, I know her son's kid is like weirdly into sharks. I'll give him this 50-cent book.
I'm trying to think. What was that? There's this one movie that I remember. I think it was like some Will Ferrell movie called like Land of the Lost or something.
Land of the Lost.
Based off of a TV show of that name, yeah.
Yes. I remember we were watching this and I started watching it. It was like maybe like 2 days.
Oh, yeah, with the weird lizard people?
Well, I watched it like 2 days after one of my youth group meetings, and that's when I was really first introduced to the idea of they're like, oh yeah, when you guys die, you go to heaven, and it's just eternity, you're there. And that scared the shit out of me. I'm sitting there like, forever? Like I had an existential crisis at like the age of fucking 5 or 6. So I go home and I see like I start watching this movie and I saw someone dying and I'm like, I can't do this.
They're in heaven. They're in heaven.
Dude, I fucking started crying. I went to my room for the rest of the night. I was so terrified.
Funny. That's so funny. As a kid, I understood there was a difference between like live action and animation. And I thought that like they made SpongeBob SquarePants like on a film set. I thought there was like another world where like SpongeBob was like an actor. Like he had his own life outside of the TV show. And I thought like they were filming sets and they're like, all right, cut. Yeah, Mr. SpongeBob, your line is Krabby Patty. I want another Krabby Patty. Can you please repeat that to the camera for me?
God damn it, SpongeBob, you're supposed to be on stage right.
Yeah. You need to read your fucking script, SpongeBob. We don't hire you for bullshit.
Patrick pulls himself.
Terrible shaped trailer. Fuck this.
Yeah,
hey,
Patrick
I understand that I'm normally a dumbass, but like, let's talk man to man here. You're fucking this up, and you're making me look bad.
Patrick's
Get
just
your
ripping
fucking shit together.
Patrick's just he's ripping a bong in his trailer. I need to go my fucking trailer. I gotta get a rip off real quick.
God damn, I'm out of fucking Newports.
Patrick would smoke Newports.
Oh, dude.
Oh my
God. Over there with American Spirits.
Dude, that pretentious asshole. Absolutely. American Spirits.
He'd roll his own.
Oh my God.
Would you guys believe it if I told you I still haven't seen Jaws? I know.
Really?
All right. You got homework.
All right.
It's believe me, it's like it's eternally it's been on my to watch list like forever, but it's one of those movies where like I've absorbed all the references through cultural osmosis. Like I get it.
Good. It's so good. No, you
All right.
don't get it.
That. I know.
I saw it in theater. Not like they re-released it in theaters. And this was the summer after college where I got into shark tagging and I started tagging sharks for a job. And there's something, I don't know how to explain it, where watching Jaws the movie and then going out that night and tagging like an 8-foot bull shark, the best experience ever.
That's gotta be fucking hype.
I remember the first shark.
Jaws.
I did live Jaws. I remember
It's
the
like
first
you're
shark.
watching the Matrix and you're like, I'm gonna walk around and dressed in all black and sunglasses all day.
Yeah, it's my whole personality now. I basically made Jaws my whole personality.
Just start offering people pills on the street.
You start every conversation starts with you scratching your nails across the chalkboard.
I could kill you, that shark. Never killed any sharks. You never see The Matrix? Is this just an episode where we talk about movies we haven't seen that we should have seen by now?
Dude, there's so many movies I haven't fucking seen. Like most movies I have not seen.
I had a weird part of my life where I would get irrationally anxiety, like just extremely anxious over watching a new movie. It's when I got into like filmmaking stuff as a hobby, and I was like, oh, I can never make anything this good, so why should I consume this media?
You just kind of overanalyze it all. That's kind of
Well-
how I feel whenever it comes to like listening to music sometimes, because I'll listen to music, be like, oh wow, that shit's fucking great. Fuck, I can't do that now.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah, I can't watch a movie because all I'm thinking about like, okay, so they're probably using like a 25 to 35 millimeter camera, and they're shooting it with an offset angle, and they're gonna do a Dutch tilt angle next. And how are they lighting this scene? Are they doing a fill light?
was big boom.
Yeah, I hate it. I wish I could turn my brain off. It's so snobby too. Like I hate sounding like a douchey film snob, but fuck, man, I am. I just have to accept it.
You can't turn it off. You can't turn it off. I get that.
Yeah.
Are those a bunch of movies behind you, Mike?
Books.
Oh,
Books. This
And
guy
it's
reads.
all No, my wife reads. Here, let me tilt the camera a bit more. Yeah. It just
Oh
kinda
my
keeps
God.
going, doesn't it? I know.
Oh
it
my
just keeps
God.
going.
Oh my god, you got a library over there.
Yeah. One of these shelves is mine. Yeah.
Nice.
So the rest
Jesus.
is my wife. Yeah. The rest is like, yeah, she's a big reader.
Oh god, dude, I'm like borderline dyslexic, so like I couldn't do that.
You haven't seen my library since I set it up, Charles.
No, I haven't.
You
That's
you
why
just saw
did
my
that.
hundreds of books that were just sitting in that one room. Yeah, I have a
think I
ton of
own, like-
books too.
I own like 2.
2 books.
Well, actually, if you count the Bible, then I own like 50 books.
Why do you have so many Bibles?
I was a
Are you counting
religious
each
kid.
book in the Bible?
Yeah.
Yeah, I own Psalms. I own James 1 and 2. I own Paul.
Job.
Job.
Yeah, that's great. I
Revelations.
understand you just
That's
read
what
The
it is.
Giver, but haven't you read Genesis?
Hey,
Terminator?
speaking of books,
Oh god, what do you have? What is this? What is this? Jaws, the book.
yeah, it was originally a book.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh shit.
it was written by Peter Benchley. It actually has nothing to do with the film. And actually,
Like World War Z.
yeah, basically. And actually, after Jaws came out, a lot of people, there's a negative stigma about sharks after the movie, and a lot of people started going out and hunting sharks for sport. And the author of the original book actually became a huge conservationist and donated all his money to shark conservation after Jaws.
You saying that reminds me. Yeah, I think I heard about that. I think it was like a crack.com article back in its golden years.
Crack.com.
Hell yeah. What a throwback.
I remember when that shit was funny. Yeah.
Joe, we
Oh.
just did that in unison.
Yeah.
I'm
We've
taking
been
a
doing this.
swig.
We've been doing this together for too long.
How's your Vizzy, by the way? How do you feel about that?
Honestly, kind of disappointing. I thought, like I said,
Oh, no.
I set these up in an order thinking what I think will be the least favorite. That one first.
Mhm.
This one, yeah, doesn't taste as good as I thought. I'm liking it less than Black Cherry.
Oh.
Really?
White Claws nailed it. I will say. They are the OGs, but they nailed it.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Mick Ultra is the king, but White Claw is the prince.
Oh. So like I think did you mention earlier like you're more of a beer guy?
I'm still kind of in that experimenting phase, honestly. It's just kind of trying a little bit of everything to figure out what do I like. So like as far as beers that I might like I've kind of taken a bit of a liking to it. There's a local brewery, Uintah, local to Utah anyway. So Uintah, I'd like a couple of theirs. I haven't tried much other beer outside of that. Tried Guinness, didn't care for that.
Try Guinness on like a very cold night. If you're
Yeah.
like sitting there like mid-December, and I don't know what the weather's like in Utah, but I assume you guys actually have
Oh,
seasons.
it fucking sucks. No, it sucks here. Like it's a desert wasteland, and the drivers suck. So it basically feels like you're anytime you're on the road, it feels like you're in a Mad Max movie. Sans the cool leather outfits, and it's like, where are my cool leather outfits? I want to wear a mohawk, and I want to wear, instead of a t-shirt, I want football pads, and I want to wear assless chaps, and my name is going to be Blood Bleeder, but none of that happens.
You could still do that.
Yeah.
No one's stopping you.
Yeah, no one's gonna stop you. Go out there, live your life, King.
I will say,
I love it.
I do agree with Charles's advice. Guinness on a cold night does hit different.
It does.
When I lived in Alaska, we had some Guinness in the fridge stocked, and we would walk out of the hatchery, and so funny enough, our hatchery manager was Mormon, and he refused to have any of his employees drink inside of the common area. So there was a tool shed on the other side of the island that we had to hike to, and it became our party shed.
The sin zone.
Dude, we played this drunk Jenga game, and there was this one. So you pull out Jenga blocks, like you play normal Jenga, but each Jenga block has a certain rule on it.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the rules was rain gear. You had to run from our side of the island back to the hatchery, get all your rain gear. So it's like your overalls, your rain jacket, your rain hat, and your big gauntlet gloves, and then run back from the hatchery back to the little house. And then you had to play the rest of the game in the full rain gear in Grundens. If anyone who's not from, Grundens. It's the brand of gear that's probably the best gear that'll help you survive in Alaska. Grundens, jaw
the Grunden.
But yeah, we were drinking heavy, thick stout beers up there, and it was so nice because you could drink it and you just hold it straight and you drop it, and it drops straight down into the snow, and it just sits in the snow.
You can leave it out all night and it's cold.
It would be frozen.
It'd be frozen, yeah.
Yeah, it was trippy because I was so drunk, and I was about to throw up, and it's a really funny story. I run out of this house. It's just a shitty shed. I run out and I go to throw up all this beer I've been drinking all night, and then I look up and it's the Northern Lights just going over me, and I'm like, what?
You just experienced the Northern Lights, just fucking puking your guts out. Oh, that's so fucking pretty.
It's the beautiful
and then I just, God, it was such a good feeling too, because then I just laid face first down into the snow to cool off. It was such a great day. Alaska is a beautiful place to visit. It sucks to live in. I just have nostalgia for living there for half a year. It sucks because I guess that's how we started the podcast, because I was in Alaska with no communication forever, and I was like, oh, we need to catch up. Yeah, and that's when we started it. Yeah, right when I got back from Alaska.
I remember you, because you fucking went to Alaska, and I'm sitting there like, all right, cool. Well, who the fuck am I going to talk to?
I went to Alaska. I had a clean shaven face and a buzz cut hair, and now I look like a hippie all the time.
Yeah, and then you came back with sin on your hands from all the fish that you jerked off.
I jerked off so many goddamn fish.
That's seriously what he did. Working at the hatchery, you just got to squeeze the cum out of the fish.
Yeah,
you mentioned on the other podcast we happened to bump into each other.
Oh yeah, that was the post show. I revealed my true fish obsession.
Can we also talk real quick? So you were the one that you said your wrestler was Jared Fogle, right?
That's how it turned out. I mean, that wasn't my plan going into it, but
Jared Fogle made it to the final match.
Yeah, he had to throw the match.
It knocked out Charles's character.
I was so fucking mad, dude. I was furious.
The frog goes down. For anyone that doesn't know, it's
Jared fucking Fogle.
Yeah. The Too Many Co-host podcast that me and Charles go on every now and then, they did a WrestleMania SmackDown event on Twitch. And all the people who have gone on the podcast, they made a wrestler based on what they thought a good wrestler would be.
Like a King of the Ring thing, yeah.
Yeah. A really fun event. I heavily enjoyed it. It was a great time.
Yeah, it was a good time. Dallas put so much effort into Jared Fogle. It looked like a one-to-one thing. It was creepy. It was really fucking creepy.
It was all happening. I wasn't trying to make him Jared Fogle. I just remember they're like, "What's your wrestler's name gonna be?" And I'm like, "It's gonna be a name that strikes fear into everyone's hearts." Jared Fogle.
Jared Fogle. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I'll do it.
Yeah, we'll go with Mr. Fecal.
Yeah. Jeez. So what got you into podcasting as a fellow podcaster? Ugh, gross.
Really?
And then I have a follow-up question.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, like so this isn't the first podcast we've done, but it's the first one that we've done that like we're really gonna want to stick with. The first one that my wife and I did was like everyone during the COVID era. It was like, what are we gonna talk about? Movies, I guess. What about them though? And the thing is, my wife and I are both therapists, so we thought, well, given that given that we can't turn it off,
You take
the
card?
whole like, do I take?
Charles is looking for one.
Yeah. You got Venmo?
Yeah.
It's
funny because at the end of every episode, we tell people, if you've listened this far into our episode, please seek therapy help, because no normal human should be able to listen to this podcast for this long. So give this guy a shout out for therapy help.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway,
so we thought like let's do like a psychosocial analysis of like different movies and TV shows that we watched. We did it for a handful of episodes. It kind of petered off, like most things when COVID restrictions started lifting and we actually had to go back to work and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, what got this one is that like we would usually, like in my own family, if there's like if there's at least 3 of us, you got maybe like 7 minutes tops before. Excuse me there. All right, before it starts devolving into talk of poop or whatever, people sharing their ridiculous poop stories or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And we would be with friends and we'd be sharing these stories. They'd be sharing theirs with us. At some point, it was brought up, this would make a pretty funny podcast, right? Like just hearing these stories, just laughing about this. And so that's kind of how it started there. And we've launched back in February of this year, and we've been going steady since.
Nice. That's awesome.
I think that's hysterical. I love it.
I will say, I see you on the Reddit grind every now and then, and it's so funny because you'll reply to people and it'll be like, I mean, yeah, if you have poop stories, you can come on our podcast. And I cracks me up. It's my favorite thing to see now. Anytime I see you post on Reddit, it's the funniest fucking thing. It cracks me up.
Got any big shitters in the chat here? Yeah, you shit yourself? Come talk about it.
Come on. It's so funny. I love it.
No, it's funny because it works. The last interview we did was this young woman in Brazil. Because wait, no, that wasn't the reason God damn it, who did we get in touch with last? Maybe we haven't spoken to this person yet, or I'm getting confused about like which like threads have paid off. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, somebody in like the Salt Lake thread in the subreddit there said, "Hey, I've got ring footage of some woman shitting in my driveway. What do I do?"
What? Dude,
so
that's a gold mine. Gold mine.
So I commented, "Hey, if you want to share this story, I'd love to." He didn't respond. The OP didn't respond, but other people were like, "Oh, what? Like you're what? How do we find it, man?" It's like where's your podcast, man? Show me. And so I'm telling I'm like, yeah, here's how you find it. Here's my socials and all that. And then someone else was like, I got a story to share. And maybe it wasn't this one from Brazil yet. Maybe she might have just reached out on one of my like guest exchange things. I forget.
Man, I can't believe people like around the world are actually shitting.
Big shitters.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah,
they shit over there in Brazil.
Well, I think it's karma because like all of them are so beautiful, and it's like the universe is like, we got to even that shit out somehow. And she's sharing this story of how she's like, yeah, we were on vacation and I'm looking good in my bikini, but I'm like, oh, I had way too much spicy food last night though, and just ends up like messing her brand new bikini.
Oh my god!
Oh, yikes!
Yeah. And then before that, like I'm also fairly active on the r/poop subreddit. I shouldn't say I'm active. I shouldn't say I'm active, but like I do.
So funny.
I lurk around pretty often, and I end up getting in touch with this guy all the way in Italy. He's one of the co-developers of an app called Poop Mania, and he shares a story of when he's like, yeah, we're traveling in the RV, but the RV was full, so I had to like wander off in the woods and just kind of like, and I didn't even make it to the woods, and I just kind of parking lot. Like
I do feel like everyone has like a shit story.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a good amount. Like I have ulcerative colitis, so like my shits are dude, they're fucking off the wall sometimes. I'd love to
Yeah,
come
yeah.
on and share some experiences.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
we're
we
looking
should-
forward to having one or both of you guys at some point.
I mean, I could talk about all the animal shit stories. I don't know. I mean, I have just like kind of interesting shit stories.
It doesn't have to be your own, and it doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't even have to be funny necessarily. And a good example of that is the last 2 episodes we aired. We split the recording of we had interviewed with this former EMT,
Uh-huh.
and she started off by sharing a lot of her own personal mishaps, and then in the second half of the recording, which ended up being our second the split second episode there, she's talking about the worst experience of her professional life as an EMT. I won't
Oh,
say
wow.
what it was because not only is it just pretty disgusting, but like I wanna hook people into listening to that
Oh,
one
yeah.
because like
Great
it's
teaser.
yes, it's genuinely. All I can say is I've literally never heard of something happening like that. I've never heard of that happening. I never thought it was physically possible what she shares, and it is poop related. Keep in mind.
Hell yeah.
And it sound and I say that I say this in the during the interview itself too is like, wow, if this exact scenario happened on a TV show like South Park or Rick and Morty, it'd be hilarious. But
Uh-huh.
it's fucking tragic and like heart wrenching. So we keep that. I did something I'd never even done in our episodes before. I actually like preface like I do a little sound clip before the episode even begins to say, hey, this first story isn't even funny. So if you came in hoping to laugh, you're not going to get it here. So
Oh no.
skip to the time.
I think I have an idea of what happens.
Yeah.
But I
but it ends up being-
won't talk about my ideas.
But it ends up being heartfelt and it ends up being
Wow.
kind of like even educational to an extent. So if you're saying like, yeah,
Wow.
I've got a lot of marine biology poop stories, yeah.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
we'll hear those too.
I've analyzed many a poop in my day.
Who would
love
have
it.
known that? Who would have known that the poop podcast would be educational and heart? Like, I feel like I would be like crying at the end of the episode. Like, it was beautiful.
Yeah, that's awesome. So do you have a guest on every week?
Yeah,
Every episode, I guess.
Yes, because it's not us. I mean, like the first 2 episodes again. Like we try to split our episodes if it seems like if the recording seems to be a bit too long, we'll split it because we like to keep it typically between like 45-60 minutes.
Mhm.
Yeah, but so the first 2 episodes are me and my wife and my sister all just kind of sharing our stuff. And then after that, and we even say as much like, yeah, this is kind of our way of not only is it a fun place to start off us sharing our stories, but it's kind of like, look, we've shown you ours, and it wouldn't really be appropriate if we asked you to show you yours if we're not doing the same, if we're not, setting the precedent, so to speak.
Yes. Send
That's how
pics
it's
first, and I'll send after.
I love
Yeah.
I love that you just not only found someone that's like, yeah, I want to marry you, because it's hard. That's hard to find someone like that. And 2,
Right?
you found someone that's like, oh yeah, I want to marry you, and I want to talk about my fucking poop stories
Yeah.
on the podcast.
It's
So-
a miracle I can get my girlfriend on this podcast when she comes on, but it's great when she does.
And it's funny too because like in our 3rd and 4th episodes, which again are part of the same recording, we have a couple of our close friends come on, and my friend Jake, his wife is like, "Ooh, poor Brittany, she has to do that," and Brittany's like, "I have to. I get to. This is a fucking
Aw.
highlight of my
Privilege.
week."
Oh, that's
I was like,
heartwarming.
this is so funny. She's like, because we end up just almost on the floor laughing with the stories people share. Most of them are great. We occasionally get some that like don't really know how to tell a great story, but generally speaking, I do honestly think there's some kind of correlation between the kind of person who's willing to share that kind of humbling experience and their ability to tell it well and entertaining.
That's
and
awesome.
to like connect with a person too, because if they're willing to tell like that kind of personal experience, they're gonna be like, it's kind of like, oh shit, they're out here, they're being real with us, and feel like we
Yeah.
can just relate to them, because everybody poops, everyone shits, and like you said earlier, everyone has a shit story. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure everyone in this world has trusted a fart they should not have trusted.
Yeah, everyone's got a poop story. Just not everyone has one they're willing to share. And I would heckle people like, so a couple weeks back we
You're just on
we
the
got-
sidewalk. Like, are you a shitter? Tell me your stories.
Big shitter over there. I can tell the way you walk, brother. You
I
shit
can smell you. You shit recently.
we a couple weeks back did we got a table at a retro video game expo, and I'm like, hey, we got a humor podcast that relies on people interviews, so can we get a table? And they're like, sure. And
Oh my
so
god.
we're getting people looking at our banner, kind of like laughing, like and like if I and I'm kind of like a carnival barker. Like if I'm seeing people that show a little bit of interest, I'm like, hey, you got a story? Ha, no, liar, you're lying.
I love that. I love that so much. Did you see like good growth from that?
Not like wild growth, but yes, we did
Mhm.
see growth from that.
Nice. So,
Yeah.
how do you
Yeah,
like
I
promote
was-
your podcast?
Oh yeah, I was about to ask.
I don't know if we do. I mean, like we're kind of inept at it. I mean, a large part of it is this going on other people's podcasts and like just talking about it and getting out there. It's funny because like I don't know if we'll end up going through with it, but like as a result of that, I got a couple of pretty decent contacts. One was with a guy who who like is like the head manager, maybe the owner or whatever of a pretty big podcast network, and he's like, so we had to talk this. We actually had to talk about an hour or so before I hopped onto this. I'm not really sure where that's going to go because like I'm not sure if it's what we want or need at this time.
Joe,
But it's still
Joe,
That's
but it's still
scary.
cool to be, but it's still cool to be
Joe.
like, hey, I had a talk with a guy.
Joe,
That's
we can
awesome.
milk this man.
Oh, we got. Yeah, we haven't figured out how to promote our podcast. We play this little stupid video game called Hell Let Loose, and it offers proximity chat. Yeah, it offers proximity chat, and usually I'll play as like a medic, and when someone's screaming out for a medic to revive them, I'll run up to their body and turn on prox chat and be like, "Hey, you want to get revived?
You got
Mm,
Spotify?
You got Spotify? You look something up for me real quick?"
You like podcasts?
So we just negged them into subscribing to our podcast. And hey, shout out to all my fellow Hell Let Loose veterans out there. Oorah.
Oh yeah, to the new guys that fucking commented like earlier today. Thank you very much. Actually, I'll say their full name out loud because it's gonna be public anyways.
I used to jerk off fish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you
Well-
for a second there I thought you weren't gonna say fish. I thought
Well-
I was just gonna stop at I used to jerk off.
Funny enough, we were playing Hell Let Loose a couple months ago, and I was just talking in squad chat, and I started saying my go-to line. My go-to line is, "Hey, did you know sharks have 2 dicks?" And out of nowhere, this guy just comes sprinting at me. He's like, "You're the shark guy! You're the shark guy! Holy shit,
You're
it's
the
you!
shark
You
dick guy.
You're the Shark Dick guy. You had the podcast." And I was like, what?
What?
And he's like, "I remember you. I talked to you like 6 months ago." And I was like, "That's right, baby. I'm famous. Fucking bow down to me." And then it gave me a god complex for a couple of months.
It was really fucking funny.
And then I got humbled real quick because this new guy that works with us, or at my job, he comes in and he's chill and everything. And, we're like going out.
About the cow. You're talking about the cow that we can milk. We can
Yeah.
milk him, Joe.
We go out in the field and he's like, "Oh yeah, can I like record a video real quick? It's like a really cool environment. I just want to talk about it." And I was like, "Okay, yeah." And he starts recording this video and I'm like, "What are you recording this for?" And he's like, "Okay, man, you can't tell anyone." I was like, "Okay, whatever." And he's like, "So I have this Instagram account that's like kind of semi-famous." I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Oh, I got like 46,000 followers and like I have a sponsorship through 4Loco and I record like ad campaigns for like brands." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I like go out in the wilderness and just like record all these videos." He like showed me this like hype video he made for 4Loco in like South Florida with like pythons. It was really dope. But yeah, it was very, very weird. He humbled me real quick. I was like, "I have a podcast and we have like 50 subscribers."
Yeah, and they all came from Hell Let Loose.
And yeah.
You ever watch what is it, Internet Comments Etiquette?
Internet comment etiquette.
Okay, yeah, because I just I'm just thinking of like every time he shows footage of him playing a video game, and he's like, "Oh, hey, what's up, dude? You should use NordVPN," and then he headshots his own teammate.
Yeah. He used to do that shit on Rainbow Six Siege all the time. It was so fucking funny. Yeah.
And then it'll be like,
Hey.
drop a C4 in the middle of the whole team.
Yeah.
Like, oh, God, sorry, that's my bad, guys.
Kick from match.
This is vote to kick initiated.
Oh god, I miss peak Rainbow Six Siege days.
Me too.
That's where Charles and I like made this persona. I think for this podcast.
It's
where it
during
developed.
COVID. It was during COVID because I was working from home at the time during COVID.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I ever worked from home, and at the time I was like selling health insurance, so I'd pretty much just roll out of bed, and then just go and sit down on my computer, and then it would go like an hour or two without any type of phone calls. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'll just do whatever. So we just started playing a whole bunch of Rainbow Six Siege, and we discovered that the best part of Siege was just talking to other people. It's like not even the game itself. And that's the same with How Let Loose. It's just like it's not even the game itself. The fact that we can just like actually talk to other people and just like absolutely fuck with them was the best thing in the world.
It's so good. I highly recommend that. I mean, obviously, everyone who's listening right now plays the game because that's where you came from. If you like what you're listening to, tell a friend, tell your mom, tell your local MILF, tell your milkman.
So I can tell you one of the other contacts I was able to make through this expo was this one woman and her husband comes up, and like we weren't able to interview them, unfortunately, because like they ended up having to leave or whatever. But like we got super excited because they're like, we have to go now, but like this is super awesome. My husband and I, we're friends with one of the writers and the head actor of the Death Toilet movie series. Have you ever heard of it? I hadn't heard of it before then. Like Death Toilet, really? She's like, yeah,
that sounds awesome.
What is this?
Yes. So yeah, like the first three of this week they started filming the 6th entry in the series, Death Toilet, and like the first 3 of them are on Tubi. I've already watched them, and so they're like, yeah, we'll put you in touch with the guy. So like I've had some DM contact with the like one of the head, masterminds, if you will, behind the Death Toilet series. It's very much like a stupid comedy horror series, kind of like Sharknado, although much more lower budget.
Oh my god, this looks so good. This looks so campy.
I would like to read the names of these
movies. Time out. Can I read the synopsis real quick for the original?
Yes.
Death Toilet, a 2018 film. When Vietnam veteran Brett Baxter comes home to settle his dead brother's affairs, he soon realizes that his toilet might be the embodiment of Satan. So, fun fact, my house is currently haunted by a Green Beret Vietnam veteran. So, maybe he's in my toilet. And guess what?
Yeah, maybe.
That's no. That's what the neighbor told me. He haunted the bathroom. Remember?
All the toilet paper.
So we were recording an episode live at my house, and like while in the middle of the recording, my neighbor, because I just moved into this new house, my neighbor knocks on the door and looks me dead in the eyes, and she goes, "You know this house is haunted, right?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Yeah, this guy that like used to live here was a Vietnam veteran, and he died here." I was like, "Okay, cool."
What?
And she's like, "Well, I used to take care of him, and one night when I was taking care of him, the toilet paper roll just like exploded off of the like handrail and like it ripped it off the wall, and toilet paper was just like thrown about the bathroom everywhere." And I was like, "Well, fuck off." She's like, "I've also seen him like throw chairs around the house." And I'm like, "Okay." And then also there's a folded up American flag in the garage. And I tell my landlord, and I'm like, "Ha ha ha. Like, is that yours? Like, you're gonna take that with you?" And he's like, "Oh no, it was like that when I bought the house, and I'm afraid to touch it, honestly." So I feel like I should get a discount on my rent because my house is haunted. Or, Mr. Ghost, pay your fucking share of rent, you asshole.
Nah, he's not. He's shitting in your toilet right now, dude.
He's
dropping napalm in that bowl.
He's dropping napalm.
He's dropping that napalm, baby. You got too much fire sauce.
Oh God. Yeah.
Smell napalm in the morning, huh?
Jeez.
Also, the same thing with that bathroom too. That bathroom that he has, there's literally a window in that bathroom, and when you look out the window, it's just to the garage.
Oh yeah, in the
master. It's just
in the master. Yeah, the garage was added to the house, I believe. It's a very old house.
Yeah, so it was cool to make a couple of contacts that way, and we got a lot of people's stories. I haven't even like sifted through the content yet of like the recordings, because like we were there for 2 days. But yeah, it was a fun way to go about it, and we were able to make we made friends and social contacts with like some of the other vendors around us and stuff too. So
we're actually going to be doing something similar to that, like towards the end of September.
Oh, we are. I guess that is kind of similar.
It is.
I didn't think of it that way, but I guess yeah. Should we make a banner?
So instead of going to a convention, we're actually going to a Young Gravy concert, and and we're gonna
gonna-
get there early and just set up a table in the parking lot and just record an episode of the podcast while at the Gravy concert.
We're gonna tailgate the Young Gravy concert and record an episode before and then after the concert.
I'm about to be heckling people, dude. I'm about to be throwing stickers like a motherfucker, like they're fucking
Yeah,
throwing stars.
I do want to do like more tailgating episodes. I think that could be fun. We should do
Oh,
like
yeah.
a baseball game, a football game.
I want to do
Dude.
a Woods episode again.
We'll it's so hot. It's so
Yeah, it's
fucking
too hot
hot
right now. We would have to wait until like, well, here in Florida, it doesn't start getting cold until around like I want to say like-
October.
no, January, February.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
'cause
did
we're
think
short during Christmas.
okay, I did want to pitch this idea to you, and I'll just pitch this idea real quick.
Okay.
Okay. What if we go down a lazy river? How can we waterproof all our equipment?
How can I waterproof the computer, the microphones, and the audio interface?
Yeah. The microphones I don't think would
baby.
the microphones I don't think would be an issue.
I think so. I think so. You put me on a lazy river in an inner tube, I guarantee you I'm gonna be drunk and I'm gonna fucking drop the microphone or something.
All right.
You're gonna-
maybe
you have to
maybe
you
we
don't have
don't
to
do that.
waterproof it. You have to Charles proof it.
Ah, that's true. Maybe we don't do that then. I was just thinking the other day.
You hire a guy to just be on the shore side of the riverbank there with a boom mic, just following you guys.
Oh my God. Well, okay. Well, maybe we can do this with work, and
Pay off the lifeguard.
I'll get a guy on the boat. We'll get a guy on the boat that's just trailing behind us with a big boom mic.
On his own float or whatever.
I do like
Some
the
guy-
idea though. Just
So we have
some
the
guy in
boom
his,
mic
he's just in an inner tube behind you.
I like that. That could be a move.
That'd be really fucking cool. And that would suck though if like another family comes in between us and all of a sudden it's just like we have no audio and the boom mic guy is like a mile away from us. Half of the episode is just him like hovering the boom mic over random families. Someone's getting a divorce like in the other inner tubes.
Oh my God. I was on the lazy river the other day for work,
Oh,
and I have like a boat, and this dude like flags me down, and his child is screaming bloody murder. And he's like, "Hey, I got separated from my wife. Can you tell her like we're down here and her kid's like bawling his eyes out?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever."
Like
no way.
separated just from the river, or like they're going through legal separation. And he expects
Separate
you
from
to
the
be
no. God no. Yeah, I need you to serve these papers to my now divorced wife.
You're a
here you
notary,
go.
right?
So I had to like I had to just like
the van.
I just had why do you have tape?
Because my mic is starting to fall. The previous tape that I had on here is no longer working and it's no longer sticky. Because if I don't do anything right now, the mic's gonna start drooping over.
We like to say Charles is living in survival mode.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah. So this is a case in point of survival mode Charles. Oh, he's just ripping it with his teeth. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah,
Guys,
baby.
I've seen that.
Oh, fucking Rambo over there.
Yeah, just real life
But yeah, I had to just like boat down the lazy river and like look for someone, like a single woman that looked like she could be of marriage age, and be like, "Hey, you have a husband and a kid?" She's like, "Leave me alone." I'm like, "All right."
You should start flirting with her.
I speaking of flirting, and this will be my last story of the day, and we'll review the seltzer.
More
I had-
fish jerky off. I know. God.
I had two
Oh
Mormons
man, you should have
come
seen
to
the
my
ribs
door the
that I
other
had
day.
on that salmon.
I had two Mormons come to my door the other day.
Yeah.
And-
did you flirt with them?
No, let me tell the story.
Oh, you sound
They
so
came onto
beautiful
him,
when you talk
okay?
about God.
So I now live in a neighborhood. I no longer live in the woods.
It's true.
So people have been knocking on my door, solicitation. And I am socially awkward human. I don't know how to say no to people. So I listen to people anytime they fucking knock on my door and talk to me, and I don't know how to get out of conversations. And these Mormons come to my door and they start talking to me about God and everything and da 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 da.
Have you seen our commercials?
And they're like, "Oh, you believe in Jesus?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And like, "Do you go to church?" And I'm like, "No." And the whole time, my dog, who is like a 45, 55 pound German Shepherd mix with like an Australian Shepherd, like it's a mutt.
It was
It's
somehow
just-
more awkward than you.
Somehow. It's just barking its head off. And my girlfriend's just like holding the dog back and dealing with the dog. And I'm talking to these two Mormon girls, and they're like definitely like just graduated high school, like probably just started college. And they're going door to door and they're handing out Bibles and shit. And they're like, oh, well, we go to this church at this address and da 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 da. And I was like, okay. And they're like, oh, yeah, we have this, like, we're going to do like a watch party for this like choir group. And I was like, cool. And I was like, da da da. And then
even in my believing days, that is some dork ass shit. Like I would not.
It
have
was
been on board
dork
with that.
ass. It was some dork ass shit. And then out of nowhere, she goes, well, can I get your phone number and I'll text you when like we're doing our watch party? And I was like, no.
Absolutely not.
I literally went, ew, no. And she's like, well, let me write my phone. Yeah.
A watch
They were
party,
doing
like it's like the premiere of like, I don't know, the next Throne spinoff or something.
I don't know. It's basically, yeah.
The 10 Commandments Part 2.
And she's like, oh, well, let me write down my phone number on this. And she pulls out like a Jesus card. Like it's a picture of like white Jesus that you see. And she's like, and she had like a little fucking messenger bag. And she also had a Bible. She had a Bible and she was like, can I read my favorite like scripture for you? And I'm like, I mean, I guess. I don't know how to get out of this conversation. And the whole while, my dog is just like, just barking his fucking head off. And my girlfriend's like, be quiet, dog, be quiet.
Joe, do you still have her number?
No, I'm not giving. I threw it away.
Damn it.
Yeah. So I just remember that she's just like out of nowhere. She's like, can I get your phone number? I was like, ooh, no, you cannot. Absolutely not. I am 27 years old. Please leave me alone.
Hey, no, Joe, you got to get those digits. You know those Jesus girls are freaks.
No, I don't want that. I have a beautiful girlfriend.
They're not.
I have a beautiful girlfriend that I would like to stay
Oh,
with.
yeah, he's like, no, they're not. I've tried.
Yeah. So that happened like 3 days ago. And it was so funny because like once they left, I look at producer Jamie, which is my girlfriend, and she looks at me and she goes, so you did that for the podcast, right? And I was like, yeah, that I just want content to talk about on the podcast. So
right.
Mm-hmm.
But real
I was
talk,
like, I now put myself in stupid situations for this stupid podcast.
I legitimately appreciate that, like, you were still polite to them because, like, they're just kids, you know?
They're just kids. Like
I will-
I grew up super religious and I get it. And I got out of that situation and stuff. Like, I get it. It's super like, I don't know. If you're religious, cool, more power to you. But
I did the same thing. But like the only thing that got me out of religion was actually legitimately my dad. I remember my dad walked into my room one night. I was already like in trouble for something else, but every night during this time, every night before I went to bed, I would always read my Bible. So he walked into the room. He's like, that shit ain't gonna fly. Took it away from me. And I'm like, the fuck? And then one time I was like, I'm riding to church. And I'm like, oh, dude, it was like the Wednesday night service. And I'm like, all right, cool. We're going to, go to church. And oh, fuck. The show might actually get canceled tonight. Anyway,
nope.
Different story. We're driving to church and my dad, I'm like, oh, yes, the service starts at around 7. Cause we used to like get there at 5, hang out, and then service starts at 7. He fucking stops the car, turns around, and is like, I thought you were just going to hang out with your friends. If you're just going for the service, I'm not going to take you. I'm like, the fuck do you mean?
I mean, that's definitely why I was like religious in like middle school. It was like an excuse to hang out with like the popular friends of mine. Like our entire baseball team went to the same like youth group every Wednesday night.
Okay, so I get that because I was raised Mormon, but it wasn't in Utah. Like, yes, I'm currently living in Utah now. We've been here about 7-8 years, but I grew up in Massachusetts, and like, I don't know what it stands for, but like a whole bunch of my classmates, friends, and like some of the popular kids went to something called CCD, which was something Catholic. And I always remember feeling like, I wish I could go there to hang out with the kids. That's where the kids are.
Yeah, it was like a status symbol. Like, I mean, I grew up in like the deep South. Like, it was
None
just
of them
a
are
status
Catholic
symbol.
now. So none of them are Catholic now, for what it's worth. Like most New Englanders,
Yeah.
That kind of fizzled out in the early 2000s when when all the corruption about the archdiocese came out and everything.
Now they just worship Tom Brady.
New England. No, Tom Brady's a Florida boy. What you talking about?
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, he
Brady-
got converted to Gatorism.
Hey, Buccaneers, go Bucks!
Yeah.
Now we have Baker Mayfield. I think I'm not a big pro football guy. You know what I am? I'm a big college football guy, and I kick Charles's ass at college football every time we play it together. Fuck you, Charles.
Bro, dude, I was about to let it rip.
All right. What do you think of this seltzer? I'm finishing number 3. Are you done?
You know, yeah, I'm done. I've actually been done with it for a little bit. It
All
got
the same
better.
flavor you guys are doing? 3 of the same flavor?
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
That's how we
Yes.
review it. Because
Mhm.
you know we buy 12 packs, and a 12 pack has 3. Eat that shit. Has 4
Damn.
flavors of 3 cans. So each flavor has 3 cans, and we drink down 3 of the flavors for each
Gotcha.
episode.
Okay.
I
'Cause
have made.
I have always said 3 drinks is the perfect level for me. And
I
I've
was
been
wondering
that
how
way
you got
since
through-
college.
I was wondering how you got through 3, and I'm like, oh right, we established that I had the tall boy here.
You have a big
yeah,
boy.
No, yeah,
And we
you got
still
the
have
sugar boys.
we still have AA to go to.
Mhm.
All right. But
Right.
before AA, let's get official numbers.
Jimmy,
All
I
right,
got my third one I haven't even tapped into yet, but
What flavor is that third one?
raspberry lemonade. So
Raspberry
fingers
lemonade.
crossed.
That sounds sexy.
Okay.
I saved it for last, hoping that it's going to be the tastiest of the 3. Like I said, the blueberry pomegranate kind of let me down, but whatever. Again, I'm not hacking it up. I'm not spitting it out. So whatever. Almost done with
Yeah.
it. So we'll see what happens.
All right,
So,
Charles. This has
for
been
me-
the Mighty Swell pineapple flavor of the Tropic
Mhm.
Pack. What are you thinking about this one?
I would say that it did get a lot better the more that I drink it. I didn't taste much of the grape, and it did just kind of like, I don't know why I got a milk vibe from it. I think it's just because of how
Milk?
the can was.
Milk.
Yeah,
Like dairy
Yeah.
milk.
Like
Mhm.
cow milk or coconut milk?
like you squeeze the udder.
Like straight from the tit.
Like, oh yeah, straight from the mother.
Okay.
Damn right.
Wild assumption, but okay.
But at the end of the day, I will give it. I was gonna say 42, but that's the Jackie Robinson's number, and I don't want to disrespect that. So we'll do for 43.
That's
43.
respectable.
I'm not gonna give this anywhere like close to a 50. If I was at a party
Ooh,
and if someone
like
like
it.
came up to me and said like, "Hey, you want this pineapple Mighty Swell?" I'm first gonna say, "No, that's a Mighty Swell." And if this is all you have here, I'm just going to go home.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in
But
the
it's
same
drinkable.
ballpark. I'm in the same ballpark, but I think it's over a 50. I think it's a 54 personally. I think I
Like if
enjoy
my
it.
grandmother gave it to me, then I'd be like, "Yeah, sure, Grandma, I'll drink it."
I definitely think it's the best one of the pack, personally.
hmm So what'd you give it?
I'm gonna give it a 54 overall. I think I can chug a whole one pretty easily. I think
Mm.
it doesn't make me sick. I feel great afterwards. It's kind of refreshing, but like in an icky way. I don't know how that translates. But that's been our review of the Mighty Swell
Well,
pineapple.
hold on. How would
What?
you, out of 100, what would you give the blueberry pomegranate?
Oh yeah.
Out of 100? No, I'm so new to this scale. I feel like I'm kind of more
It's a gut
ranking
check.
than I am rating them.
It's a gut check.
Gut check.
Listen to your heart.
I don't know what. How do I put this question? What's your guys' like rating criteria? Like what makes something?
So basically, I imagine myself if I'm at like a party or I'm at like the beach and I open a cooler and I see a cooler of every single different type of seltzer. How likely am I to go grab the current seltzer I'm drinking again?
Yeah.
Also,
I see it the same way.
chuggability. What's the chuggability of the drink?
Mhm.
Would I get this drink again?
How I normally do it is chuggability. How would I react if someone offered me this at like if I was at like a party or a social event? How close the flavor is to what it claims to be. Because we've had drinks on here that I don't like, but I gave it a high number. For example, like ranch water had a spicy flavor to where it
I love
literally
that one.
just
That was so good.
tasted like you were just drinking like crushed up peppers, and it was legitimately spicy. But it tasted exactly the way that it said it was supposed to taste, and I forget what I gave it, but I gave it a good number. How it makes me feel afterwards, and it's just like, because I'm normally like just a garbage disposal. Like you put something in front of me, I'll put it down.
Oh, same here. My wife calls me her garbage disposal because like every time we visit her parents, they're like, "Hey, Mike, look at all these leftovers we got. Please eat them."
Look at all these hot dogs. But yeah, that's kind of how I normally rate them, and I just kind of go with my gut feeling. It's just like after the first initial reaction, like first initial sip, I already have an idea of like what range I want it to be in.
Sure.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I agree that initial sip does a lot of the heavy lifting.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So with the blueberry pomegranate.
I don't know. Like, I guess because I'm so new to this, I think I'll just kind of go with like a neutral 50. Like,
Okay.
I would have it. I'd have it again, but if there were others, I probably would pick them over it.
I think that's fair.
What about
It
the
wasn't
White Claw
unpalatable.
blackberry?
You think the White Claw is a little better?
I did, which is again surprising considering I generally don't like cherry flavored stuff, and that's not just a seltzer thing. Like even when it comes to like candies, you know, like cherry Jolly Ranchers are like the last ones in the bottom of the bag there. If I'm picking other stuff, I'm usually picking like watermelon or green apple over that.
Watermelon Jolly Rancher. Oh,
this is gonna be a really awkward episode because it's like it's just gonna be weird because the audience is not gonna understand what's going on when they just hear you and I talk, Joe. Because your audio is not gonna be included since you don't like cherry Jolly Ranchers.
Oh my god!
So
I was like, what's going on right now?
Yeah, so we're just
we don't tolerate hate against that.
What's going on?
You've just been edited. You've been edited out. I hate to let you know at this point, but you're done.
Look, you've been great up to this point.
Call it my lack of overall tolerance, but yeah, it's like it's definitely noticeable how much it's kind of like okay, just trying to be in the moment here.
So when it comes to like the entire pack, because we'll also review the entire pack at the end. The entire pack, I will.
Well, let me go through the numbers.
Oh boy.
So I don't remember what I gave the mango, but Charles gave the first flavor we tried, the mango, a 2. Joe gave it probably
there
like
was 0 mango.
A 2 out of 100.
Out of 100, it was the worst thing we've ever tried. Then we went to the blood orange. Charles gave it a 46, where Joe, gave it a 41. That was a pretty bad one. I had to chug like 4 of them in 10 minutes, or 3 of them in 10 minutes. Papaya, what we did last week, or yesterday, Charles gave it a 2. Joe, gave it a 22. And then pineapple, what we just reviewed, Charles gives it a 43. I give it a 54. What are you thinking about the Mighty Swell Tropic Pack as a whole?
As a whole, I will give the Tropic Pack a 20. I give it a 20 because 2 of the flavors in there were literally the worst things I've ever put inside of my body. Yep. And I put some terrible fucking shit inside of my body.
Yep.
And that had to be like the absolute fucking worst. Like I fucking like, bro, dude, I've snorted THC before, and like that was a hell of a lot better than drinking one of those fucking earlier Mighty Swells.
Come again?
Yeah. I took like a THC pill and then just like it was.
You were down bad. My goodness.
It was COVID, and I was living in an apartment with all my fucking friends. It got bad.
Oh, you were booling.
Oh yeah, we were booling. But the other 2, the ones that I gave the 40s to, those kind of do pick it back up to put it into 20 range. Would I ever buy this pack again? If it was $5, and for $5, if I can get 2 of the packs, then maybe. But then I would also be damned to drink 2 of the packs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. The experience itself is enough to make me just want to like do it like an Aggie or a Sayonara. I'm not doing that.
I'm gonna give it an 18 for basically the same reasons Charles gave it. I liked 2 of the flavors decently, but not enough to ever buy this pack again. I will say, the Happy Daddy lime flavor was good enough to buy the pack again if it wasn't so fucking expensive.
Disagree.
But this is not good enough. I wouldn't even buy this again on sale. So that's been our review, the low Seltz-Esteem approved review of Mighty Swell Tropic Pack.
Real quick,
thanks everyone.
I'm gonna do a
joke, right? Big Swell. It's got to be a dick innuendo there, right?
Mighty Swell. I don't know.
Mighty Swell, big whatever it was.
Hey girl, you ready for this Mighty Swell?
Yeah, like it seems like it's an innuendo, right?
I feel like it maybe.
Maybe. Anyway, you're drinking the Vizzy with the raspberry something?
That's his AA.
Raspberry lemonade. Yeah.
That'll be his AA.
All right, cool. I'm gonna make an audible to my AA.
You're making an audible. Oh my god, he's gone.
But like I said, I'm trying to keep up here because like
It's just the two of us now.
oh,
Charles is
overall-
gone.
Oh, he's gone. I thought you were saying I was gone because I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of barely staying like here.
Oh, you're
'cause,
good.
Again,
You're good.
overall, I'm basically a middle schooler when it comes to putting alcohol in me at this point.
You gotta learn somehow.
All right,
Oh, damn, he's back way too fast. We were gonna talk shit about you.
So I don't have that flavor because that flavor is from the mimosa pack, but I do have the blueberry pomegranate.
Oh wow, it'll be interesting to compare and contrast.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is the end of our podcast called
great.
Additional.
It's
Cool.
great.
Just kidding. I got a Colt 45.
All right. Let me do the intro. All right. This is the additional alcohol part of the podcast. Additional alcohol. We be drinking. We be playing.
drinking.
We be watching. We be listening. We are drinking other alcohols on this podcast. This is additional alcohol. Charles, what are you drinking? Looks like a Colt 45. All right.
And a blueberry pomegranate.
Hi, my name is Joe.
Hi, Joe.
It's your turn, Charles.
Hi, my name is Charles.
Hi, Charles.
Hi.
And this is additional alcohol.
And we have a new member for additional alcohol.
Yeah, introduce yourself. Just say, hi, my name is. You can do
me?
any name you want. Yeah, you.
Mm-hmm. You're part of this
beautiful
AA
guest.
meeting.
I'll just go with my Discord name. I'm the
Hell yeah.
Shermbank. Hi, I am the Shermbank.
Hi,
The
Shermbank.
What a great name, by the way.
That's a great name.
All
right. Today I've brought it's black cherry seltzer water with tequila and lime juice.
Nice.
I don't know if you can hear my ice clattering. It's clatter, clatter, clatter.
I think I'm gonna stick to my blueberry pomegranate. This is good.
Cool.
I love that
So
your
this-
name's a Shermbank too, because the latest guy that made a comment on one of our episodes, his name was literally just Sherm. And when I saw that
Oh, yeah.
pop up, I thought it was you, Mike, at first. I'm like, there's no way. There's no
Shout
way.
out Sherm. Shout out Sherm.
I mean, it probably isn't much of a surprise that like, yeah, my last name's so it's like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, let's make it gross.
Hell yeah.
Do you want us to censor your last name, or are we keeping that in?
Yeah, you might as well. Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
I only
I
asked this
appreciate-
because
I
like
appreciate it.
I censor ours.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might as well. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it.
Maybe.
So this is the part of the podcast where we talk about what we're watching.
All right, so I'll start off with what I'm watching. I've been watching more Cybertruck reviews, and I'm still getting fucking angry about them. I really fucking hate this vehicle.
It's been less than 24 hours since we recorded an
hate-
episode, but yeah, I get that.
I hate this vehicle so much, mostly because like I need more hands to count the amount of times I've seen a Cybertruck on the fucking road. Every single time I see a Cybertruck on the fucking road, I keep on thinking, I'm like, there's no way. Am I wearing a VR headset? I'm in the PlayStation. It's bad.
That sucks.
It's a real piece of
And
shit.
the more that I've been looking into it, that shit's dangerous as fuck, dude. It does not crumple like an actual car is supposed to crumple. It's more of just like
Right.
one singular frame. So
Yeet.
it's this batting ram that can go from 0 to 60 within 2 or 3 seconds. And if you get in an auto accident inside of that, dead.
Hell
You're
yeah.
just fucking dead. Or
Hell yeah.
the car's not going to have any damage, but the actual driver is going to have some fucking damage.
Mhm.
It's,
More tangents about, or more passionate debate about the Cybertruck.
And it's just gonna make my fucking. I swear to God, if any of my clients get into a fucking wreck with a Cybertruck, I'm gonna be pissed.
All right. I've been watching, I watched a mini documentary today about why nobody throws the best pitch in baseball anymore by Baseball Doesn't Exist on YouTube.
What is the best pitch? The knuckleball.
Yeah. No. Yep. You're 100% right. And
The
he,
knuckleball is ridiculous.
so back in the 70s and 80s, we used to have an exponentially larger amount of knuckleball pitchers, and that has drastically dropped off because for many various reasons. It's actually interesting. The human brain has a hard time picking up a knuckleball And the brain sees a knuckleball and it's like, that's not natural. It defies the law of physics. It should not be doing what it's doing right now. So it's hard to hit. But if, as a pitcher, you can't throw a knuckleball perfectly, you're basically giving batting practice to the batter, and you'll let up like 6 home runs a game. Also, it's really hard for a catcher to catch a knuckleball. So there are specific catchers who are trained to catch knuckleballs, and they are like almost assigned to pitchers to be their catcher. So you're basically doing a double player for a trade when you talk about knuckleballers.
Mike,
So there's a lot of pros and cons of baseball.
Knuckleball. Are you familiar with the knuckleball, Mike?
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
Like I know that you kind of like hold the ball like kind of like that.
Yeah.
Like
And then it just kind of glides straight through the air.
It
and
doesn't burn until like
yeah.
the last moment
No,
when
no, no.
gravity takes over.
There's no rotations of the baseball. And right now, baseball is obsessed with velocity, spin rotations, and all those metrics because we're right now in the StatCast era of baseball. This is the baseball part of the podcast, if you were not unaware.
Right.
But a
Special
knuckleball,
interest.
a knuckleball just pushes straight through the air, and the seams of the baseball catch the air. So the knuckleball is moving straight, and then it just kind of does like this unpredictably. But the human brain is so used to seeing a baseball moving like this, end over end, or axis over axis. So when it's not going over those axes and it's just coming in straight, our brain literally tells itself this is not natural, and it freaks out.
Huh.
So I watched a little mini documentary about knuckleball pitchers. I recommend.
Sorry, go ahead.
Say that again.
Finish your thought. No, finish
I
your thought, go
recommend.
ahead.
I recommend everyone who has a YouTube account and is slightly into baseball watching Baseball Doesn't Exist. One of the best YouTubers about baseball. Goes into deep dives about random baseball topics. Really love them.
So when you say like it freaks out, like these batters are just sitting there, like what the survival instincts kick in, like
Oh yeah.
oh shit, like it's a UFO or something.
They like swing out of their shoes. I've seen batters like swing so hard that they like throw their bat across the field. I mean, it's crazy.
It's just so unpredictable.
I remember in high school, I taught one of our pitchers to throw a knuckleball and would only call it like once or twice during a game, but it was so effective.
Mm-hmm.
So what have you been watching?
But I'd like to ask. So what's the reason that they're not throwing it? We said it's the best pitcher they're not throwing it anymore. What's the reason?
Because anytime that you're not throwing it well, you're just having an off day. You're basically throwing a 65-mile-an-hour fastball, which is the easiest thing to hit a home run on. And then also, it's really hard for catchers to catch. So you're getting a lot of pass balls, drop third strikes. You can try and take first base on drop third strike. It's not unless you have a good, confident catcher that can catch a knuckleball pitcher, it's not worth anything.
Okay, so it's like really high risk, high reward, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but when it works, it fucking works.
Yeah, there's a guy right now. He pitches for San Diego, and so most of the time when there is a knuckleball pitcher, that is the only pitch they throw.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, there's a pitcher for San Diego who that's just part of his rotation.
Whoa!
Imagine
your other ones.
Yeah, imagine you're up to the box. You step in the box. You see a 95-mile-an-hour fastball right up at the hands, top part of the zone. You're like, damn, that shit's fast. All right, okay, I'm ready. I'm sped up to it. And then he throws you like a change up outside of the zone, and you swing at it, and you're like, fuck, 85-mile-an-hour change up with some good break. All right, I got to be ready for fast. I got to be ready for kind of off speed. And then out of nowhere, this ball going 85 miles an hour that is just floating there. You're like, what the fuck is that? There's 65, thank you. 65-mile-an-hour just ball that's just levitating towards you. You're like, what the fuck is that?
The ball has 0 frame rate.
You're seeing a 95-mile-an-hour pitch followed up by a 65-mile-an-hour pitch. Insanity. Like 30-mile-an-hour difference is insanity.
I generally don't care about sports, but I am curious enough to look. What's the name of the channel again?
Baseball Doesn't Exist. He just does like super deep dives.
I might have seen that because
Okay.
I used to never care about baseball until until his like fucking autism started like spewing baseball facts over to me, and I do enjoy it a little bit more now.
Uh,
I don't watch it unless I'm
even
like
just the
actually at a
even
game.
just the thumbnail preview is like, whoa, okay, yeah, that is kind of freaky seeing this thing just
Yeah.
Oh,
kind
it's
of
insane.
float.
I've even done deep dives of like knuckleballs. Like I'll fall asleep
Yeah.
sometimes just watching like knuckleball science videos, like the science behind it, because it's
The pitcher I was talking about was Matt Waldron. I just wanted to credit him. Matt Waldron's a fucking phenomenal beast of a human, just an anomaly that we'll never see again.
What have you been watching?
Me,
Bank.
we've been doing a bit of a rewatch of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, so there's that.
I fucking love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. What a great show.
It's so good.
What a
And
great
like,
fucking show.
if I have anything, like one thing that's great about it is how, like, most shows have to kind of fine tune their tone or whatever.
Oh no, it hits the
Their
ground
groove.
running.
It does. Like, it makes very little changes. Like, the main changes is like, okay, Rosa changes her voice a little bit, like from like season 1
Yeah.
to season 2 or whatever. It's like, but for the most part, like, and the cast has like perfect chemistry.
So good.
If I have any complaint about it at all, and even this is like a real soft complaint and an understandable one, is that, like, I know that when they tried to get a little more serious and like try to touch on more important
Oh yeah, the
topics,
last season was kind of dog shit.
yeah, I mean, like, I still enjoy it and I understand what they're trying to do and I respect it, and like, even if they're, how do I put this? Like, even if they're spouting politics that I agree with, the comedy still did suffer because of it.
Oh yeah, it was
Ah.
just political messaging by the end of the last season, and I was like,
Yeah.
I get why you're saying what you're saying, and it's relevant for the time,
Yeah.
but you're
And I agree
dating
with it even,
yourself. Yeah, you're dating yourself, and it's like, I use this as like escapism. Like, I don't want to remind myself of real life and how shitty it is.
yeah.
I've
I don't
never seen that show, but I've seen clips, and I
So-
like the clips I watch. What's the name of that fucking like the big leader, the bald guy who's got the
Terry
Crews?
Crews.
no, not Terry Crews, the other one. He's got like the boyfriend or the husband.
Oh, Andre,
Captain Holt.
Captain Holt.
Captain
Yeah.
Holt. R.I.P.
Rest in
Captain
peace.
Holt.
God, I did
Yeah.
cry a little bit when I found out he died. He is probably one of the best written gay characters in cinema, or like just in Hollywood, or whatever you
One
want
of
to
my-
call it.
One
in
of my
media.
favorite clips I saw from it was when he went up to the main guy, that I don't know his name, the Lonely Island dude.
Yeah,
Andy
Samberg.
Samberg.
Yeah.
Andy Sandberg, like it was during like his hula hoop thing, and like it showed him like the photos of the hula hoop.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, "Why
Oh,
are you
yeah.
showing me this? Deletes photos. No one will ever believe you."
What a great character in general. Shout out Cheddar, his corgi.
Yeah,
Aw,
Probably rest in peace, Cheddar. He's probably passed away by this point.
probably.
maybe. Did you see
They're
on
probably
Twitter
poor
the other
cheddar,
day?
probably, no.
Did you see on Twitter the other day? It was R.I.P. Rocky was trending.
R.I.P. Rocky.
Yeah,
Rocky?
everyone thought it was Sylvester Stallone. No, it
Oh.
was fucking Ozzy Osbourne's dog.
Who cares?
And everyone's like, "What do you mean Rocky's dead?" Oh,
Oh my god, it's just like torrential downpour just started. Jesus Christ.
oof.
Love
Well,
Florida summers.
Speaking of downpour, what have you been playing?
I did a downpour of fucking touchdowns to Charles about 20 minutes before we got onto this podcast. I've been playing NCAA against Charles, and I dicked you down with, who did I play as? ECU, East Carolina
Now it's
University.
Hawaii. What was it, like 14-57 or something like that?
It was
Something stupid.
14 to like 52.
Yeah, something ridiculous, whatever. I don't care. I'm getting Baker acted after this because of that game.
You suck at that game. You are a football guy. I'm not even a football guy, but I've learned so much football from this game.
I like watching it, but when it comes to playing it, I get overstimulated.
You used to have such a good run offense, and I shut the run offense down today, but your fucking wide receiver core was insane.
Yeah,
That's all I have to say. Shout out ECU Pirates. Skull and Crossbones.
Fuck you.
I almost went to ECU. I applied to ECU. I almost applied. I really wanted to go to Coastal Carolina, and I'm gonna play you as Coastal Carolina. Chanticleers is their mascot. Do you know what
These-
Chanticleer is?
I don't care
Right.
what that. I don't care what it is. But when you say
Chanticleer is just a
you,
fancy chicken.
I would love to see you never play that game again. Fuck you.
Wasn't that the name of the
It's-
main character from was it Rockadoodle?
It's a type of chicken. It's a fancy chicken.
I guess that makes sense.
Hold on, what is Rockadoodle?
Well, you look up Rockadoodle. Well,
It's,
so you got you big video game guy?
Yeah, but I have to answer this guy's question. I don't remember. God damn it! What's that guy's name? The guy that did Don Bluth, right? Did all the
Don Bluth.
like an American Tail, and
Oh,
Speaking
yeah.
of him, yeah, he did another movie that was not nearly as good as those other ones.
Is it the
About some-
independent live action animated musical comedy film produced by Sullivan Bulls?
It was like about a rooster that wanted to basically become Elvis or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
And I think
Yeah.
his name was Chanticleer or whatever, like you're saying.
Rockadoodle do.
Oh, I gotta put this on my to watch list. This looks
Bluth,
cool.
Bluth has done stronger stuff.
Yeah, it's
Like-
not his best work.
No joke. I mean, like actually, like Land Before Time actually legitimately
Oh,
helped me
beautiful.
Oh,
with my unresolved grief because like I lost my mother in my early 20s, and that was
Oh,
a movie
shit.
that helped me realize, oh shit, I have a lot of unresolved stuff.
Oh no.
it's amazing
Yeah.
how art.
It's
and
a
movies can
beautiful
do
film.
that.
It's so good. All right, Nate, you asked about games. Okay, I don't have a ton of time for gaming these days, but like when I do game, so like I'll try to play. Sometimes my son and I will do duos on Fortnite once in a while. And so that's like a way that we're able to like do some father son bonding.
Mm-hmm.
Sick.
And then I'm nearly at the end of RoboCop Rogue City.
Oh
Which
yeah.
is-
That
which
game
is
looked
a-
really good.
It's more fun than I thought it was gonna be because like looking at all the videos, I'm like, I don't know, it looks really slow and stuff. Like how is this supposed to be fun? But it actually ended up being, it's one of the. I'll say this, like it's a game that gets more fun the more you play it, and it is a pitch perfect game version of what you expect from like what you see from the movies. It's like it's a
Yeah.
perfect adaptation in as far as tone and style and the satire and everything. It's pitch perfect.
Is there a part of the game where you just shoot people in the dick?
I mean, you can. and
That's
they
an
react.
achievement. That's an achievement.
No way.
Yeah, it's an achievement on Xbox.
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
kind of. I'll say this. So like my biggest complaint is that it's kind of because it's made by a pretty small studio. Like it has a lot of wrinkles that need to be ironed out that are probably never going to be ironed out because it is such a small studio.
Yeah, it did remind me, like just watching gameplay of it. It reminded me like early 2000s, mid 2000s video game design and technology, but like in a good
that.
way.
Yeah,
In a good
Yeah,
way.
it feels
that's good.
dated. If
In a good way,
dated.
hopefully.
Games are too fast right now, and that's just me probably getting old.
in some ways it's bad because like I know for a fact like I'll have upgraded my pistol, like the Auto 9 to be like
Uh-huh.
because
Oh,
as you
yeah.
get further in the game you can do all sorts of crazy upgrades, and one of the upgrades I gave it was that I never need to reload, so I can literally just hold the trigger down and just blah, 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 blah. But
Ooh.
because the game is less than perfect, there'll be a bug in there that like will still require it. Like I don't have to reload, but like it'll still just do burst fire instead of full auto. And even if I hit the button to change it, it won't change it. And I attribute that to a bug in the game.
Yeah, probably.
Like
Nice.
little things like that. And it's like again, it doesn't take away from the enjoyment wholesale, but it's noticeable.
Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of like stuff like that sometimes though. I like it when a game's not perfect. Just to put it that way. I like it when games have bugs, like little bugs. I don't know why. To me, it just gives it like little characteristics. Like some of my favorite games are kind of buggy. Like the original Dead Island games, love those with a fucking passion. Buggy
Sure.
as shit. But man,
yeah.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think it would be fun and enjoyable is like if you could have those kind of bugs, like especially like if you could have like Fallout 76 level bugs, but
Oh
if
no.
if you could live and experience them like it was Ready Player One, that would be trippy as hell.
Oh, that'd be fun. Some
Oh, no.
VR. Yeah. That'd be kind of wild.
Laggy player one.
Yeah.
I have been playing since Joe and I talked last. I played a little bit of Grand Theft Auto 3 last night, which I
Oh,
had a
yeah.
good time with. And
They
then
said 4. Do you mean 4?
nope.
You told me 4 though. There when we were playing NCAA.
Well, I'm getting to that.
Oh, okay.
Started off with GTA 3, played that for a little bit, and then I started a new game of Grand Theft Auto 4 for the 4th time.
4th time.
I love
4th
GTA
time.
4. GTA 4 is such a good game. I love it to death.
I've never played 4 because it came out when I was in Mexico at that aforementioned mission I was on,
Oh,
and then
during
after
the
that I went
allergy
right into
season.
college. Yeah, I played a ton of San Andreas before I shipped out.
What's your opinion on that? Because I've actually been playing San Andreas. I've been playing on the Definitive Edition and the 360 Edition back to back, just to kind of compare and contrast it.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean,
how do you
I
like it?
don't know. I mean, I haven't touched it since then, but I loved it at the time. It was so good. Like one of my, yeah. Go ahead.
Oh no, you go.
I was just gonna say, like, I think I mentioned this on the when we did the Too Many Co-host podcast, where like one of my favorite memories of that was like my friends and I were just doing what you usually do in GTA, just kind of dick around and see how long you can last on 5 stars.
Mhm.
And
Oh,
we tried
yeah.
to make a getaway in an airplane, thinking they can't chase us in an airplane. Well, they shoot the plane down, and then we're like parachuting out, and we land on the tarmac, and we end up hopping into one of those the luggage trucks, and like
at the airport.
Like at the airport, yeah, we're still at the airport, like property, I guess, the campus or whatever. And as we hop in, instead of playing one of the radio songs, it goes into one of the songs that you have preloaded into the Xbox because you could, load
Oh
your own
shit!
music into it, and immediately it starts playing "Salty Dog" by Flogging Molly.
Oh, Flogging Molly.
And it was just the silliest juxtaposition of like this, like, again, I know the song's not meant to be silly, but it has this upbeat, fun sound of like, ooh, we should be taking this chase seriously. And like this car, we're trying to drive this car, and like cop crews just keep bumping into it, and it like will like be on 2 wheels while we're hearing and it just sounded like it was supposed to be silly, and it was just
Like some
like
Benny Hill shit.
And yeah, we only survived about another half a minute or so after that. I think after that, the whole National Guard or whatever, completely demolished us, as is true 5-star fashion.
That's what I love about those
Yeah.
GTA games, because you just get memories like that. I still have memories as a kid of of me doing dumb shit, like
Yeah.
dicking around
Yeah,
in GTA 4 with my
memory's
friend.
20 years old, but it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
core memory.
I did that in GTA 5 a lot when I was in a frat. We would go to like other people's houses, and my freshman year, when you're doing a fraternity, you have to interview other brothers, and 85% of those interviews was just us playing 5 stars, GTA 5, and trying to survive for as long as possible, while just getting obliterated at some random person's apartment in college. It was just good times. Well, I think that perfectly segues us into what we've been listening to. Speaking of songs,
I want to start it off.
So we recommend 3 songs, and these songs get added to a playlist that's attached to our Spotify profile under podcast.
Mm-hmm. So the first song that I'll recommend is "Black Friday Rule" by Flogging Molly from their Swagger album.
That's so funny.
Sick.
Great song. I love it. It's 7 minutes long, but it's worth it the entire time.
You love long songs.
I do.
You must be a Tool fan.
Oh, fuck. Tool, Perfect Circle, Pussifer, all 3 of those. Oh, yeah.
Did you happen to see them on tour earlier this year?
Wait, what?
So earlier this year, they came. I don't know if they must have come to Florida, but like sometime in the spring, they came to Salt Lake. It was Pussifer, Perfect Circle, and Primus all together. And I've never seen a show like it, because all 3 were basically the co-headliners, because like we're going into this thinking, well, I'm guessing it's going to be Pussifer, then Primus, then Perfect Circle. That makes sense. You got to give Maynard a chance to rest his throat and rest his vocal cords and all that. But no, they just all kind of kept swapping like a shell game. Like it started off with Perfect Circle, then Primus, then Pussifer, and then like they just kind of kept swapping.
That's sick.
I've never seen anything like it. And then
like they weren't like switching between bands or switching between songs.
sometimes the band would do like maybe 2 or 3 songs, and then they would get off stage, and then the other band would come up, and they had all the equipment up there for all 3 bands the whole time. So they had 3 drum kits and everything up there the whole time. Because like usually you see an opener act, and then they take their stuff off, and then they keep the other stuff there. Anyway, yeah. So but and then the big finale was basically members of all 3 bands all together, just being like one super group. We had 3 drummers at once. Les was up there wearing a weird pig mask while playing an upright bass.
He was playing an upright bass?
Yeah, for the last song, not for everything for the Primus sets, but for the big last song where it was, the big. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you there, but
You're good.
Oh no, you're good, dude. You've honestly piqued my special interest. I saw Primus not too long ago at Welcome to Rockville. I went to a music festival where I saw Queens of the Stone Age, Stone Temple Pilots, Foo Fighters, and Primus. And oh my god, dude, Primus was mind-blowing to me. Watching him play American Life live, just how nonchalant he was just slapping that bass, it was ridiculous to me.
Yeah. That was my first time seeing Primus live, but it wasn't the first time I attempted it. Like I had tried like 3 or 4 times previously to that. So this was like a moment of redemption to be like, finally, I get to actually see goddamn Primus live. Because other times it was the first time it was interrupted because the girl I was dating at the time, her dad was a real abusive dipshit.
Oh.
And so like the day of the concert, he's like, it's against the rules for you to go. And she's like, what rules? The rules are I can go at 15 and like I turned 18 in a week. And he's like, well, you can't take the car into Boston. Okay. You rule the car now? I don't understand. Like, so it was the day of that he decided to make this. Anyway, that was starting with that, and then there was COVID, and then there was just other times where it just didn't work out for one reason or the other. But this time it worked.
What year did you see them?
Just this year, this spring. It was the big.
Oh shit!
Again, that's why I was wondering, like, between them and Perfect Circle, who's going to be considered the headliner? Because both are, heavyweights, right?
All of them.
Yeah, I mean, Pussifer's good, but like, it's like Pussifer's considered for one reason or another. Like it's considered not quite as big as say Perfect Circle or anyway.
Yeah.
You said you're a Tool fan, so there we go.
Well, with that being said, what would be your first song to recommend?
Okay, so probably what's on my mind right now. So last night we went to a show. It was Always, and supporting them was the Beths. And even though Always was the headliner, we really went for the Beths. And they're both kind of like pop alt type of bands. Like when we first saw the Beths, it was last year when they opened for
BETHS.
Yeah, like Beth, like short for Bethany or Elizabeth or whatever. Yeah, they're like this New Zealand alt pop rock band. They opened for last year. We went to Vegas to see them open for the big Postal Service Death Cab show.
For Cutie?
And that was sick. Yeah.
Oh shit.
I mean, I don't know of any other death cabs out there. For Cuties or for Uggos or for whoever,
So for a song by the Beths, like, do you have a specific one you want to recommend to put on the
playlist? Oh, there's a couple. Let's go with Future Me Hates Me.
Future Me Hates Me. All right. All right. Well, Joe?
Oh, great. I think I want to go with My Own Worst Enemy by Lit. The classic.
That's like a 7th, 8th grade banger for me.
By Lit?
Yes. My Own Worst Enemy. I know you've heard the song.
Oh god, I think I know it. Yeah. I beat the living shit out of me.
Yeah,
that's the one.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good one. All right. I am going to recommend. I know I recommended the original version of this one a couple 2 weeks ago, but I'm now going to recommend the acoustic version of it, A Wasted Hymn by Architects acoustic.
What's the vibe?
It's it's really pretty. It's just vocals and a acoustic guitar. That's it.
Nice.
Where do you guys put this list? I'd love to check it out at some point.
If
more
you go
clear-headed.
Yeah, if you like, just look at the low self-esteem page, and click on more like this. It's called Low Self-Esteem Jams, and it's just a
Okay.
list of all the songs that we've recommended, and all the guests have recommended.
Which
Yeah.
page is that? Is that your Instagram or where?
Or
Oh,
Spotify.
Under Spotify. Okay.
All right. Well, song number 2 for Mike.
Let's see. One thing that surprised me is that like in the past few years, I've really taken to synthwave.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
what's a good one with that? I'm gonna say Paradox by Downtown Binary is a pretty good one.
By Downtown Binaries.
Singular binary.
Oh, okay. It's got the triangle.
Yeah.
Paradox added to the list.
All right, my turn.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Post-party depression.
Post-party depression.
It's Days, Days, in Days, Daze.
Oh,
Days
I know
and
this
Days.
band.
Yeah.
They did what's like the Drunken Loser song?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, Misanthropic Drunken Loser.
Yeah.
Or Loner. All right. My last one I'm gonna recommend. I'm just gonna make sure that I didn't recommend it last night.
You better not. Or I'll beat you.
Yeah, I know you will. Let's see here.
Come on,
I
Charles.
did recommend it last night.
You
All right.
suck.
I don't care. So this time I'm gonna recommend Chokehold by Sleep Token.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Fucking great song. If no one knows about Sleep Token, amazing band. I love them. They're more of a metal band, but they lean more on like the vocals. They kind of like meld into like every genre that you can think of.
Hell yeah.
All right.
All right. Final song.
Did everyone do 3?
I've not done. I've only done 2 so far.
Same.
All right. Who's next?
Would be Mike.
I had one in mind, but I'm like, oh, I don't know the name of the song though. Okay. If we're looking for just something outside of the box, I'd say, my famed Disappearing Act by Thank You Scientist.
Thank you, Scientist. That's an interesting name.
It's My Famed Disappearing Act?
I think that's what it is.
Yep, My Famed Disappearing Act. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. It's kind of like, imagine if you thought like, hey, if you listen to Coheed and Cambria and thought, you know what, this could use a little bit of jazz because they have like horn instruments. Yeah.
Nice.
I fucking love Coheed. Damn. All right.
All
Well,
right.
Joe, you got one more, right?
Yep, and I'm doing this just to piss you off. I'm going to do The Bar.
Is it by dollar signs?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, how much? Fuck you.
If you haven't listened to Dollar Signs, then go fuck yourself. Dollar Signs is the best band ever created.
The Bar,
Pop.
dollar sign. No, it's just a bunch of fucking like
It's pop,
40-year-old
punk,
dudes
rock.
that are just fucking like complaining about life.
How do you
Life
how do you
sucks.
spell that? Did you write out dollar signs, or did you actually like?
No, it's just
the dollar sign
dollar,
symbol?
the word dollar, then the word signs.
Dollar
Okay.
Signs. Pop,
I
punk,
wasn't
rock from North Carolina.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was like crosses, like the.
No, not that one.
Oh, like
That's
fucking
Thai dollar
Chino's
signs.
band?
Thai dollar signs.
No, yeah, like if it was like if you're familiar with the band Crosses, it's from Chino from Deftones, and like the way you see it spelt is just it's 3 crosses, a cross and a second cross and a third cross.
It's like the purple emoji, right?
Yeah. So I wasn't sure if you were like saying dollar signs, like, oh, is it $3 like is that how you spell it, or is it actually spelled out?
Dollar DOLLAR.
Got it.
Well,
Pop punk rock. I think that's been an episode.
That's been an episode. Well, hey, guess what, guys? Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for tuning in. We really like the support. Remember, if you are stupid And if you somehow have disposable income in this economy and you want to, if you just want to flush your money down the toilet, then you can give our podcast a little support. That's fine. But
Give
if you
me
want to be smart with your
money.
money, don't do that. And if
Give
you
me
also want to be
money.
smart, if you want to be smart with your decisions in life and what you listen to, go ahead and listen to our guest podcast over here. Go ahead and plug your shit.
Right. It is Oh Crap, Our Fecal Misfortunes and Foibles. And yeah, we interview people for their poop stories. You know, that
Oh,
expo
yeah.
I told you about, people kept passing by the table. They're like, "What do you guys do? Talk about poop?" No, 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 no. We don't talk about poop. Our guests do. Our guests talk
That's
about
pretty.
poop.
That's
So
great.
Where can they find you?
on Spotify and Amazon Music, I would love to say on like Apple Podcasts, but they nuked any chance I have of making an account. So
What do you
No.
mean?
I know, sons of bitches.
What do you mean you nuked any chance?
Well, like every time I try to make an account, they're like, "You can't do it at this time." And I
What?
called customer
We
service, and they're like,
we ran into that. Remember,
"I think it's
Charles?
because
We ran into that.
No, I don't remember that.
Oh my
I don't
god,
know."
we're playing Hell Let Loose, and you were on customer service for like 20 minutes.
Okay, so that's the problem. We were playing Hell Let Loose. You think I remember our Hell Let Loose sessions?
God,
Yeah,
we
they
ran
won't
into a similar situation.
they won't let me because I don't know. It all started with when like I don't know. I tried watching Ted Lasso on some kind of free trial thing, and I guess they thought this person's making too many accounts or something.
That's funny.
We've seen the Schirmbank at Gmail. We've seen the Schirmbank 1 at Gmail. We've seen the Schirmbank 2 at Gmail. That's too
It's getting
much.
suspicious. It's getting suspicious at this point, brother. Yeah,
I guess
so
so.
All right.
yeah, go listen to that podcast, and if you've listened this far in this episode, please seek therapy help. No modern human should be listening to this dog shit for this long. And I'm gonna go. Producer Jamie is calling me, and I'll have to get ready for going to a party after this.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And I have a
Play-
show to play in like 2
yeah.
hours.
Play us out, AI music. This is the part of the podcast where AI music plays us out. Goodbye. I'm done. Craig, kid Craig. I'm done.
I'm actually
I'm
going to
done.
kick Craig this time.
Hello.
Craig, do the
How you
stop.
doing?